Others in Trump's cabinet worried about blundering into a war with Russia or Iran, quietly scuttled the idea of attacking Syria's civilian leadership. Defense Secretary James Mattis ultimately recommended just three targets, all of them at least symbolically linked to Syria's chemical weapons past. The SERS Research Center in the Damascus Hills, and two obscure bunkers where intelligence analysts suspected some of Assad's missing chemicals might have been hidden. Yet, as the for launching the strike drew closer, Trump appeared to waver, fretting aloud about chemical plumes and suggesting to aides that he should perhaps just warn Assad instead. I nearly imploded, Bolton recalled afterward. It was too late to back out, he told Trump. Still, Mattis promised the president a big strike, and he delivered. More than 100 missiles, overkill by any measure, fell on the three targets, obliterating them, but not a single Syrian was killed, and none of the buildings where Assad and his generals lived and worked were touched. Trump, however, seemed satisfied with the outcome. At news conferences, senior aides again commended the president for using bombs and missiles to enforce the chemical weapons red line, in contrast with Barack Obama's more nuanced response. Trump took to Twitter to congratulate himself using a phrase that perhaps unwittingly echoed the words his Republican predecessor, George W. Bush, had used to prematurely declare victory in Iraq in 2003. Mission accomplished, Trump tweeted. But what mission exactly had Trump accomplished? Trump's airstrikes in 2017 and 2018 cheered Assad's foes in Syria and demonstrated resolve in enforcing international norms. But there was no proof that either strike resulted in the destruction of nerve agents, and the missile's deterrent effect on the country's dictator proved to be only temporary. Indeed, as Bolton would later acknowledge, Syria resumed using chlorine the following spring, so the two airstrikes at best bought a respite of a few months. Did we succeed in deterring Assad? Bolton asked. Ultimately, we did not. Obama destroyed vastly more chemical weapons through diplomacy than Trump did with missiles. But ultimately, neither president succeeded in changing Assad's behavior or shortening Syria's war. The United States and its allies proved unable or unwilling to halt the use of barrel bombs or starvation sieges. They were powerless to stem refugee flows or prevent extremists from exploiting the crisis to win converts and pursue violent agendas, from terrorism to attacks on immigrants. Neither administration could prevent Russia and Iran from capitalizing on Syria's war to expand their influence in the region at the West's expense. After Washington removed itself from negotiations on Syria's future in 2017, Russia stepped fully into the role of the region's power broker, dictating terms to the warring factions and forging cooperative partnerships with America's chief allies in the region, including Jordan and Israel. Reaching deeply into its Soviet era playbook, it deployed its own chemical weapons in a botched assassination attempt on British soil in early 2018. Russia's military intelligence service dispatched a pair of operatives to southern England to poison turncoat Russian spy Sergei Skripal with a Cold War nerve agent called Novichok. Skripal and his adult daughter were sickened but survived. However, a British woman who was accidentally exposed to the substance later died. The other indisputable winner in Syria was Iran. The KG Quds force commander Qasem Soleimani gambled on Assad in 2012, then doubled down 3 years later when the Syrian regime appeared to be at risk. His returns included a vastly expanded network of pro-Iranian militias, including thousands of young Shiites from Iraq, Lebanon, and South Asia, who were now radicalized and battle-hardened. By late 2018, Soleimani's dream of an Iranian land bridge had been all but realized. Only those 1,000 American troops based in eastern Syria in a handful of strategically placed outposts near the Iraq border still stood in the way. Then President Trump astonished his security advisers by announcing that those two were soon departing.